Hey there everybody, and what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing some more game development stuff. I have been busy over the last couple of weeks developing some game models and doing a little bit more work on the mobile game, and I'm excited to show off sort of what we've gotten to today. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's go. Alright, so to start off, I just simply booted up Blender and started getting to work. The first thing I knew that I needed to fix was our coin model. So I started off with a simple cylinder and started shaping it to sort of the shape and size that I wanted it to be, a little thinner, give it some bezels around the edge just to give it a little bit more definition. The thing that I struggled with most here was actually trying to figure out how to put the numbers itself on it. So creating the shape itself was easy, but then figuring out how to put the text on it and then extrude it and color it was a little bit more of a challenge. So as you can see here, I did start by creating the text, and I did a lot of Googling during this process as well, just trying to figure out how to do it, how it works, and everything like that. And as you can see here, I figured out how to actually type in the text, and then I was able to simply create my number, set the correct font that I wanted, and then actually work on extruding the value and making my number 1. Ultimately, I think it ended pretty well overall considering. I also then went on after making my number 1 to make a number 3 and number 5 coin. So those are just the 3 denominations that I've decided to choose for my coin values. Obviously, based upon our game right now, we can actually have any size of coin that we want. I just decided to settle on numbers 1, 3, and 5 for the values that we'll be collecting. I also did create a heart model. I don't have any footage of that one, unfortunately, but I did go about creating that as well during this period. And ultimately, they all turned out pretty good. I'm very happy with the results. I'm fairly new to anything 3D modeling at this time, so I'm very happy with where things are going right now. So there's our number 3, and then here is our number 5 coin. So after I actually finished making all of those models, the coins and the hearts, I then wanted to start adding some life into the actual game itself. So I decided to design 4 tiles of grass and 4 tiles of stone. So what you can see me doing right now is I'm designing about 4 tiles of stone right now. And essentially what I ended up doing was I took these tiles of stone and I actually just made 4 of them, and then in the game itself I was able to rotate them in all directions. That way we can get a different look and feel in all of them. And then you can see me doing the same thing here. I created our grass tile, so I tiled everything across the top of it to be green. That way we can physically see that the top of the block is grass. And again, same song and dance. I just simply duplicated the model and did what I needed to do with it. So yeah, it turned out really well. I'm very happy with how things went. But now, the biggest thing is how was it going to look in game? I wasn't really sure, right? I made these models and I'm hoping that they would transfer over well. And ultimately, I was kind of scared. I've done it enough times that I knew it would be okay, but I wanted it to look good as well during the process. So these were my results. So here you can see I've booted up Unity and I've got my models already input. So I just kind of started replacing all of the pieces of the map with these new models essentially. You can see that the coins have already been updated. You can see the little heart model that's already in there. And then I just really started replacing everything, right? I rotated the blocks 90 degrees each time, that way I can get different uses out of them. And as you can see, the player runs around, jumps around, and does everything just great. It works exactly as we expect. And I did have to do a little bit more resizing and testing as I was going through the process, but ultimately it worked really, really well. So here we are with everything sort of done. Our player is able to move around the world. We can see we have all the different tiles in, and everything still works exactly as expected. We can see that there's some gaps in the world itself, but ultimately everything just worked, and it was really, really satisfying just sort of seeing the player run around, collect the coins, being able to jump on the blocks, and have them be something that I created. It really helped the world feel a little bit more flushed out and actually functioning a whole lot better. You can see I just went ahead and I deleted all the items that I didn't need anymore. Um, yeah, things went really, really well, and I'm very happy with how things have turned out thus far. Okay, so all of that was technically done within about the first week. Now, over the course of the second week, I sort of refined things a little bit more and created a few more models. And what I'm about to show you is the current state of how things actively look. It's quite a big jump. I created a few more models, I did a little bit of lighting, and I also even added in a UI. That way we can hit play on our game, we can exit out of the game, we can technically go into settings and things like that. So let's do a quick walk through that. It looks really, really cool for what it is right now. Just a bunch of models thrown in Unity. Alright everybody, and here we are. This is the first thing that you now see when you load up the game itself. You get loaded into a screen with a menu. We have a play, a settings, and an exit button. If we click on settings, it'll take us into a new menu, and we have a back button. If we click on exit, it'll exit out of the game, and our play button to play along with a title. One of the most distinctive models that I've most recently added is our little lanterns here. The lanterns actually are emitting light. As you can see, actually down on the tiles, you can see shadows are being emitted from those. And I added sort of like a back wall splash into the game to sort of give it a little bit more depth. So now when we actually hit on play, the game loads up, and you can see I've sort of added in these lanterns all over the place. They just kind of look neat. It was a fun model to add in, and I probably won't have them as frequent when we actually start doing the auto world generation. But ultimately, as you can see here, it just adds that little bit more depth, and it makes it look just that little bit more cool in my opinion. So we can see, we can jump around, collect our coins, it'll slowly build up our coin count. If we fall down, we can collect more coins, and everything like that. You can see when we get into really dark areas, our player doesn't have any light. And then when we come back into the lighter areas, he has light again. The other distinctive item that I've added in is I added in an in-game menu. So if you ever hit escape, right now we'll come up with an on-screen button at some point. But that then brings up an in-game menu where we can then exit the game, and that'll take us back to the home screen. And we can hit play again, and that'll take us back into the game. The world doesn't reset or anything yet, but as you can see, we get spawned into the same location. We can exit, play again if we drop down. Same sort of thing. Exit, play again, and we're back at the very, very top. Just like we expect. So yeah, that is everything that we have going on right now. Settings menus, play button, a little bit of a actual menu when you load up the game. Everything is coming along very, very well. So yeah, that is the current state of our mobile game. It's very much keyboard driven right now, but eventually we'll get to a video where we're going to add in some of those on-screen navigation items like a thumbstick, a jump button, whatever else that we need, right? An attack button. Literally everything. But in the next video of this series, we're hopefully going to get into actually creating some enemies and actually taking damage and trying to build in some sort of, hey, you died, and then do a reset or take you back to the main menu or whatever it is that we're actually going to decide on. But ultimately, let me know down in the comments below how you think things are going. What would you like to see? What do you like? What don't you like about the progress so far? If you have any different model ideas that we should be throwing into it. I already have fences and things I'm going to add in, or stone walls, just little extra features. But ultimately, let me know your thoughts down below. Am I doing well? Am I doing not so well? What could I be doing better? Your feedback is critical to me as we go through this process. But as always, I do thank you for coming and watching my video. And if you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It does help the channel go a very long ways. But yeah, as always, my name is Azouel, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Bye-bye.